Welcome to The Focus with Javon Adams. My name is Javon Adams. You can call me Jay or J Love. I do this thing 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend and tell a friend. I am working on the website to be able to get that a little bit more in check. So that'll be ready for that next week. I'll work on that this weekend. That is something that I will make it a point to do. But today I want to talk about the word limiting words or limiting mindsets. Words such as only. What if somebody, let's say you're trying to launch a new project or new product, and somebody comes to you and says, how many of these widgets are you looking to sell? And you say, I'm only looking to sell 100 a month, or I'm only going to price it at $10, or I'm only going to price it at $30. You're already limiting yourself, as opposed to it seems trivial, but it definitely is a limiter. I'll give you an example. Years ago, when my wife, who's been in healthcare she's been a nurse for 22 years now, there was a company, a holiday party that we were invited to. And so she brought me along. You bring your spouse or your significant other. And as I was mingling and being introduced to some of the people there, I remember them asking me, I was introduced to doctors and nurses, nurse practitioners, various administrative assistants, et cetera. And I remember that I kept saying, well, when they would ask what I do, I'm only an advertising coordinator. I'm only an advertising coordinator, only this. And I kept repeating that over and over again. Now, as an advertising coordinator, my job was not one that was insignificant. It was the liaison of sorts. I made sure that if ads need to be scheduled for the advertising reps that I worked with, that I made sure to reserve that space. I made sure to contact the client to make sure that their artists let me know, or that point of contact let me know what they wanted for their creative, for the art, and then I communicated that to my graphic designer. Made sure that artwork was turned in on time. Made sure that a lot of the proofs that were sent out, all of those things, that was part of my responsibility. So fast forward to being on the way home, and my wife, she asked me, she was a little upset on the way home, and I asked her, what's wrong with you? Why are you upset? And she pointed out what I kept saying, the phrase that I kept repeating over and over again. She asked me, why do you keep saying that you're only an advertising coordinator? And I said, well, because I'm not a doctor, and I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I'm not an administrative assistant, I'm not a nurse practitioner, so I'm not on their level. And she stopped me. And she said, no, what you do, there is value there. And stop trying to make yourself look, or treating somebody as if they're superior and that you are therefore inferior. You have to carry yourself in such a way, because you might not be where you want to be now, but if you continue to have that type of mindset and that type of attitude, then you'll never get where you want to be or where you hope to be. You'll never put in the work, because you'll always have that block, that mental block. And I've always remembered that. And it's not to say that there haven't been times where I've had that only mentality. I only want to finish this marathon in 6 hours, or I only want to. And a lot of those limiting beliefs, sometimes they creep in, or those limiting thoughts, they creep in. But things like only or just, stop using those, because you're putting a limit, you're putting a cap on what you're looking to do. And that will continue it'll be almost a self-fulfilling prophecy. So if you're doing that now, you wouldn't tell your significant other or your parents or your children or a really close friend, or even a coworker that you think is really cool or that you get along with, to limit themselves. So why would you limit yourself? It seems very, very minor, but changing the words that we use and how we react to situations, that can get us closer to being able to get to the goal that we want. Maybe we won't get to that goal, that ultimate goal of earning whatever it is, or running a certain time, or being able to bat a certain batting average if you play softball. There are a myriad of things, but we'll get closer, because at least we've removed that limiting thought process and that behavior. So, make that little change today. Make that little change. You can do it. Little things mean a lot. So you have been listening to The Focus with Javon Adams. Again, thank you for spending a few minutes of your time. Share this with somebody that you know. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And as I always like to say around this time, you can.